Hello and welcome to the Knit and Pearl Podcast, episode 165. My name is Doris. It is Friday, December 14th, 2018. Thank you for coming by and spending some time with me. Thank you if you're new. I hope that you find something of inspiration and entertainment, and that if so, that you would click the thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and I would thank you so much. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much as always. Okay. You can find the show notes for this podcast at knitandpearl-doris.blogspot.com. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design, the number one on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and smooshed together on Instagram. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Pearl Podcast group. The links to the show notes and to the Ravelry group are in the down bar below. So, and also in the show notes, there are clickable links to my social medias. So go down there, hit the show notes, and then go over and have a look at my social media and follow me, and I'll follow you back. Okay. I do a Ravelry group birthday shout out every podcast, and this week went from December 1st to December 15th. We have Crafts Never Cease, who is Penny. Her birthday was on the 10th of December. We have Frosty, who is Teresa. Her birthday is tomorrow, the 15th of December. And we have Stitch Whisperer. Her birthday is also on December 15th. So happy birthday, ladies. I hope that you did have or will have a wonderful birthday, that you got good fibery and yarny gifts, and that you got to do all the stuff that you get to do all the stuff that you want to do, and that you, by all means, have your version of a birthday cake. Happy birthday. Story of the Week and Stash Enhancement. We're going to start with Stash, and this has been since the last podcast. I do have some stash. I went home to spend time with my sister in the Kansas City area. Excuse me. I left on Friday, November 30th, and came back on December 2nd. So one of the things that we do the first weekend in December is just go shopping. So we didn't really go Christmas shopping. We pretty much went craft shopping. So at Hobby Lobby, I got some I Love This yarn in the Cypress Landing colorway. I love this yarn. And I got some denim. These two are going together in a project that you'll see in the whips. I think that's all I got there. Then we went to Michael's, and I got some beads and stuff, and they're already downstairs. Sorry about that. But I got this stuff, which is Loops and Threads Copenhagen in the Rainy Day colorway. And I plan on making another huge cowl out of this. And then I went to Walmart and I purchased Red Heart Super Saver in it's pink ombre. It's fuchsia ombre. Because I was afraid I was going to run out in one of my projects. And I love this, and even if I have more than enough, I'll use it for something. And I got another one of these also in the project. This is Everyday Basic yarn from Walmart it's called Purple Passion Variegated. Again, for a project. which some of you might already know, but if not, hang tight. It'll be in the whips. So that is all of the stash enhancement. So let me get my show notes over here so I can make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Anyway, I had a wonderful time with my sister, and I got to squeeze and love on Scarlett, which is good. Excuse me. Is it going to clear? Let me take a drink of water. Other than that, the last 2 weeks have been full of knitting and watching Christmas movies from either Netflix or Spectrum. Hallmark. Sorry, what the heck? All of a sudden I got a frog. Also, I just wanted to mention, and some of you might already know, that I did attempt Vlogmas this year, and I made it 11 days. And I just think that's all I can do. Is my life is not entertaining. It's work. It's housework, and then the evenings are knitting. It's going to start getting a little bit more crazy because I'm having a couple of the grandsons over tomorrow to do Christmas stuff and watch the Christmas Chronicle. If you haven't seen it, Netflix, the Christmas Chronicles is the best Christmas movie since The Christmas Story, in my opinion. It's awesome. Okay. I do have a health pearl this week, folks. Surprise, surprise. Click in the show notes. There is a clickable link in the show notes to it. It's Spices That Heal. And there's an article that talks about how in Chinese medicine and in Indian medicine, they use herbs as a big base for medicine. So I've got a list of some herbs and what they... Sorry. Can you see it? Let me go down. Spices. It's spices and herbs. Spices that heal. There we go. So that's what the page looks like. So basil combats colds. Cinnamon fights type 2 diabetes. Thyme eases a cough. Cumin prevents cancer. Garlic reduces cholesterol. Ginger calms nausea. Nutmeg lowers blood pressure. Rosemary improves memory. Cloves help arthritis pain. And final, turmeric curbs inflammation. So there's an article. If you're interested, go over, click on in the show notes, and you can see the whole thing. But yeah, I have a health pearl, but I don't have foes this time. So we're going to move into the whips. I actually have 4 projects, and I think they're all new. First one is the Tecumseh, which is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry by Boylan Knits, Caitlin Hunter. The yarn I'm using is the Hobium yarn. Hobium yarns, the Kartapu in the color gray. Let me try to make sure we can see the label. And then smoky gray. And then the yellow is over there, which you'll see in this. And the needles I'm using my Addi Turbos 40-inch circular US. The pattern calls for 4s and 6s, and I'm at the 6s right now. And here is where I've gotten to. I am in the second chart B. And everything is all balled up. After I finish the second chart, which is going to look like this, but down here, then I do 2 rows and then split for the sleeves. So there are 408 stitches on the needles right now, and 408 is all of the needles, all of the stitches that will be on this. Unlike the Swan Show, which had 540 stitches at one point. So I see. This is the front, and yeah, this is the front. So excited, so happy. Now I like these colors for like a comfy sweater, but I'm finding I'm not I'm not enjoying knitting the colors as much as I did my Swan Show because of all the pink beauty. But I'm going to love this when it's done. It's going to be my cozy casual sweater. Here we go. And the Hobium yarn, I am loving it. This yarn is 75% acrylic and 25% wool. It's DK, and it is nice. It is a really nice acrylic mix yarn. It's reasonably priced. I bought my whole sweater's quantity for $26, $27. There you go. The next project I am working on is the Mermaid Towel Lapgan Blanket, which is I bought this pattern on Etsy. You can, if you're interested, you can type in that search in Etsy and find it. I love this pattern. It is so much fun to knit. I started this the Tuesday after the last podcast because the girl came over and did our hair, and she asked if I would knit a mermaid towel for her soon-to-be stepdaughter, and I was like, yes, I will. So I cast it on, and here's what I got. I'm trying to get it out of, so this is the ombre. The ombre color. I'm trying to get it where it's not blowing out as much. When I bring it down lower, it's like, mwah. It's very pretty. And this is the Purple Passion Variegated. This pattern is so much fun. And you see the patterning, the lacy patterning makes what looks like fish scales. So cute and so fun to knit. So if you have someone in your life, a child, the little girl that wants to be a mermaid or has a big imagination, I would recommend finding this pattern and knitting it because it's so fun. And this is how much I've gotten done in just over a week, and working on other things. Just saying. In just a bag. Because I also forgot to show you, I bought this crochet hook. It's a Yarnology crochet hook. It's a J. And I like it. I like the feel of it in my hand. But this hook doesn't, I keep dropping my loop quite regularly. So that's not a great thing. I don't know if it's the way I'm handling it or what, but that's my opinion so far on that hook. And I am working on another virus shawl, but I haven't touched it in over a week. But isn't that pretty? In the Cypress, what was it? Cypress Place or whatever colorway. And then I'm going to use the denim for the bottom, for the end. The Virus Shawl is a free pattern on Ravelry by Julia Marquette, whatever. There's a link in the show notes. And the yarn is, I love this yarn in the color Cypress Landing and denim. The hook is a, this is not a K. Why did I say it's a K? It's a J. J. Okay. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I love this shawl. It crochets up nice. It's a fun pattern to crochet. There are tutorials on YouTube the pattern links you to the tutorials for left-handed and right-handed. So you could follow and you could make this even though you don't know how to read a pattern. Just saying. There you go. I'll get back to that when these other more important things get more finished. And finally, I started a hat before I left to go see my sister, because I thought I'll just use the hat as my project while I'm there. And this is in my Neil's Pottery yarn bowl, which I love so much. I love his stuff so much. I just purchased some thrown yarn wine tumblers that I just purchased last night. He's on Etsy. There's a link in the show notes. You can go look at his stuff. It's amazing, and I love it. So I am knitting the Bankhead hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Susie Gorley. The yarn I'm using is Cascade Yarns. Yeah, that. In the paints. The color is a number, which is 9825. It is 50% super fine alpaca and 50% wool. And here it is. It's beautiful. You know, in this light, and it's pooling lovely, and I don't care. In this light, it looks really, really purple, blue, and pretty and purpley. But knitting this, oh Lord, it's so dark. I have to have a lot of light to see my stitches. But it's almost done. Hopefully, it'll be a finished object next week. It's beautiful. The yarn is lovely to work with. I hand wound the skein. There we go. The needles I'm using are Knit Picks. No, Knitter's Pride. Dreams is a 7-inch or US 7 4.5 40-inch circular, and I'm doing Magic Loop. Get you another look at this. It's gorgeous. There's also, if you wanted to just put your yarn, there's a hole right here. I don't prefer that because I like to be able to move it around if I need to, so I always use this. Okay, put it back over here. I did finish my 2 ounces of spinning, but I didn't take it off the wheel, so sorry. I started the final spin, and you'll just have to take my word for it. Finally, I have a Pinterest, which is, I have to get back to it. a how-to by Knitty. It is how to unravel back to fix mistakes. I think this is very helpful. There's a link in the show notes that shows you how you can safely and comfortably, save your stitches, rip back, do the repairs. A picture tutorial on how to do that. Very helpful information, so I wanted to share it. Finally, in the down bar below, and in the show notes over here, there's a link to my Etsy store. Please go over, have a look around. If you see something that you want to give as a gift that you want to keep for yourself, please go over, like a few things, and if you find something you want, I will happily sell it to you and ship it to you in time for Christmas. That is, if you buy it in time. Anyway, thank you guys so much. This is a fun part of my week, or every 2 weeks, just to sit down and talk about my knitting, talk about my fun stuff, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of the Knit and Purl podcast. And if you are happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, everything you celebrate. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, you guys.